This is the 6.9-inch Nama Glide. It is the most portable lure on the planet. Hooks are stored on the inside of the lure, making it super easy to tie on. You can also put this in your fanny pack, fishing bag, purse, center console, glove box, and it will be 100% tangle free because the hooks are stored on the inside of the lure. I do slide that front hook out. We'll slide this back one out. They are press fit in there so they're not falling out on you. And just like that, you're ready to fish.
What's up, guys? I am Kenny from Upscale Lures, and you just watched a video about portable fishing lures, I'm assuming for the first time, and I'm gonna make the assumption that your mind was just blown. Or potentially you think it's the stupidest thing you have ever seen. Well, in that, my best performing YouTube short, I got the full spectrum of comments from "this is pure genius" to "this is dumb. This is a solution to a problem that doesn't exist," or does it meet somewhere in the middle? Let's go through the comments section together. I'll give you my 2 cents and tell you why I think portable fishing lures are freaking awesome. But we're gonna jump right into the comments here. So the first comment, good idea. To be honest, I thought the hooks would pop out when the bait hit the water. So my first prototypes in 2016, they were more of a slot, and I had single hooks with some magnets in there, so they would stay in there, and then sometimes they would fall out when you cast them, but also they would sometimes fall out when you're storing them somewhere else. So you need something that they have no chance of falling out, when you don't want them to. So that's why I did more of the hook door style. Next comment. Ain't seen him in the water yet. I did link him some drone footage. I was kind of rushing it in the drone footage because I was trying to keep pace with the drone or whatever. So it was just kind of more of a consistent, action or whatever. But I should have some other footage also that I can show you guys. Such a nice lure for a terrible knot. I just use the fisherman's knot, and I don't have any issues with it. That's what I've been using for forever. And I asked him, what's his go-to knot, and he uses Palmer or Uni knot, and that they never let him down. But can you take it on a plane? I'm not sure. I don't know. Be interested to find out though. Somebody wants to try it. What would that look like on an X-ray? They'd be like, what in the hell kind of contraption is that? Absolutely wild. Yeah, I think it is kind of wild. I think it's kind of neat. I was bored of what all the other fishing lures that were out there. I just LLC'd my lure company in March of 2016. I was making lures a while before that. You're trying to stand out, making something new and exciting, and I'm seeing all these other lure companies trying to advertise their lures or whatever, just showing them off. And the best thing they come up with is a new color or a new shape or something, potentially a new action. There's a board in the hallway from my great grandpa that has these antique lures on them. I've been looking at that thing since I was a little kid, and the lures haven't changed much. It's the same lips, the hardware. What changed? Style, the style and materials. What was the next thing in fishing? If I'm looking at lures that are how many years old and looking at lures today, and there's still not much of a difference. We needed something. We needed a fresh take on fishing lures, and that's what I was trying to do with the portable fishing lure. So thank you. Thanks for that comment. Absolutely wild. Next comment. Yeah, I commonly store my swim baits in my wife's purse and glove box in my truck. This is a solution for a problem that doesn't exist. I see the majority of mouth breathers are impressed, but in the swim bait world, this is nonsense. Well, women fish too. They can put them in their purse. Just saying. And the glove box of my truck. That's the point, saying that you can store it anywhere in your vehicle and it's not going to be an issue. Whether it's on your car seat, back seat, where you can put your fishing lures in any other container, any other place, and not having the chance of tangling up. Like it takes that convenience level and like it, dude, it literally like shoots it through the roof. Next comment. Now, if it could only catch a fish. Yeah, I mean, I've done pretty good with it. Caught some bass, caught some pike on it. One of the best times that I've had, I latched onto something pretty big. It snapped me off. I did retie, threw another lure on, whatever. Didn't catch anything that day. 4 days later, I go back out there with the Namek 6.9, and the first cast, I get a hit, and I was like, okay, let's stay calm. And you cast it back because that's what you do. Second cast, I end up getting them on, pretty dang nice pike. Got them on camera, all that stuff, got some nice pictures. And I'm like, okay, they seem pretty active today. So I bite that lure off.
That's pretty wild, man.
I grab my other lure, tie that thing on, and remember, because the hooks are on the inside, it is super easy to tie it on. Within, I think it was less than 10 minutes, I end up catching another pike.
It's my second one on the Namek 6.9 within a couple casts. Well, my GoPro's not working. I'm glad I got this other camera that's actually
I didn't catch anything else, but I had a boil. And then I kept reeling it in, and it was close to shore. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if that boil was a pike.
Oh yeah, that's a pike. Oh, wow. That was a pretty big pike.
They were chomping on it on that day. They were very active. The next comment was just, it was one word. It was dumb. And I did respond. I'm like, how would you make it better? And I got no reply. So I mean, hey, if you think it's stupid, man, let me know. Just at least give me like a thoughtful, give me a thoughtful response, a response that has a little thought behind it, I guess. Or just, I mean, I guess I'm more curious of, why that person did, think it was dumb or whatever. I like to see it in action, but regardless, really cool idea. Did you invent this? Yes, I did. I invented it. I had the idea of portable fishing lures. Like I said, 2016, like I was binging on so much YouTube videos, Casey Neistat, the Guggen Squad was just kind of coming together, and just the amount of videos that I was cramming, into my brain. I was seeing all this fishing footage of people like hooking just everything, like just like literally hooks were a pain. People are hooking on everything. They're hooking themselves, they're hooking their clothing, and I'm like, there's got to be a better way. And then I had that thought. I'm like, well, what if you could,
hooks are stored on the inside of the lure.
and I'm like, nah, you can't do that. And I'm like, well, could you? And then here we are. And I'm still going at it. Did you get that puppy on Temu? Props to whoever came up with the idea, but I don't like that Chinese bull. It's just like, this is America, not Chinese Communist Party. And I just replied, I made it. Yeah. Yeah, interesting. I mean, I don't mind a little bit of competition, but yeah, hopefully not on Temu quite yet. Next comment is, how much does it weigh? So it is 3.7 ounces. So it's fairly hefty. It's fairly hefty. I do use like pretty, you could say heavy duty, like split rings and screw eyes on that. I guess I was like coming out from like making musky lures. So I got some pretty hefty hardware. But we do have some pretty big pike here in Wisconsin. So, it kind of gives you that little bit of insurance that, the thing's not going to break in half. 3.7 ounces, like it sounds like a lot, but, with the right gear, it's not too bad. Actually, I'm using an ugly stick, and that works pretty good. And then just a Shimano reel, and not too bad of a combo. The one thing with the ugly stick rods, the castability is fantastic, but the eyelets tend to get pretty torn up after a while. Yeah, I would definitely not use braid. That would probably be even worse. And I use 30-pound fluorocarbon, do pretty good with that, but that setup has worked out pretty good for a fairly budget setup. It's 6.9 inches long. So I feel like it's the right size where you can still throw it, like in these northern states where we don't have like giant bass, but they will still take it on. So I feel like it's the good size that you could potentially fish anywhere. And like once you kind of build that confidence that the fish will actually bite it, like it's, yeah, I mean it's a super fun lure to fish. And it is quite choppy. It is quite choppy in the water. It also is a floating lure. At first I didn't think I would like that to be floating, but it does give you a little bit of insurance if you do end up casting it off or getting bit off. If you're lucky enough, it will float to the surface so you can retrieve it back. It gets snapped off, that it will float, and then you can try to potentially cast another lure and snag it and get it back. Or if you're in a boat, obviously you can just go get it. So I like having that little bit of insurance of having it floating. I don't know if that would fit in my center console. Probably the 6.9 would. I do have a 4.9 that would definitely fit in the center console, but I'm assuming this one right here probably would not fit in your center console. Next comment, do you realize tackle boxes exist, right? And I responded, I'm like, have you ever seen 20 lures tangled together and you're playing barrel of monkeys? It's all about the convenience. There used to be phones on the walls. Now they're in your pocket. He said, they make tackle box dividers for that exact reason. There's already a solution to tangled lures, and this is super inconvenient if you want to carry more than one lure, which I do every time I go fishing. The lure dividers, yeah, that'll solve that problem for the tackle box. You want to go beyond the tackle box and be able to put it in any container that you want, that you can have the convenience of always having that lure just like one grab, like just a hand grab away, that you have your lure. Like when you're on the kayak situation where you already are kind of compacting down the lures and everything. You're taking the essentials with you. And I think that creates a higher level of like tacticalness, and like just it makes it more seamless when you're in the moment fishing and you're trying to swap out lures and all that stuff. You don't have the process of digging through like a backpack. He's like, I'm not saying this is a bad product. It's actually a neat concept, just not for me. Yeah, okay. Yeah, fair enough, man. That's actually fucking genius. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate it. What someone defined genius is just like, it's more about being like persistent in what you're doing. This is amazing. Everyone has great questions and you answered all of them efficiently. I love it. Keep it up. I would love to see what you would come up with for salt brackish water. I'm in Florida and would love to purchase some of your lures. Do you sell anything else that has to do with fishing? So I do have the 4.9, 6.9 NAMA Glide. I have a line of inline spinners, which I did go down to Florida with the inline spinners and had some luck in St. Augustine catching some snook. I didn't even know what they were at the time. That was pretty amazing. So I have the Big Norma spinner, the Nifty 50, and also a bigger upscale bucktail. I also have some fishing lure STL files as well that you can 3D print. Next comment, no leader, question mark, goodbye lure. This video was 8 months ago and he predicted the future because I had the 6.9, had a nice pike on and snapped me right off. That was 30-pound fluorocarbon. I was quite surprised. Sometimes that just happens. So you got to kind of balance of, taking that risk and how much hardware do you want on your lure. So I rarely use a leader, but time and place for everything. Got it stuck in a tree and lost $300. Someone commented, $300 question mark. This is on eBay for $9, LOL. The more complex I get with the colors, tends to take more time to make it and all that stuff. So yeah, but that's right in there. Do you think you could make a J11 Rapala version? By the way, that's amazing. Did you design it? I think it'd be tough with that hook on the end. Potentially, if you use small enough hooks, you could possibly make that work. But yeah, looks like an interesting lure to potentially make portable. He did ask if you designed it. Yes, I did. I already kind of answered that one. That's the best invention for 2024. Well done. Wow. Okay. Um, I mean, okay, so I mean, it's okay. It's not some mind-blowing technology, right? That's not what it is. You know, maybe forward-facing sonar, is that considered? I'm not sure. It's the convenience factor. I mean, that's the giant thing, right? It's the convenience factor. It's convenient not to have your phone in your pocket and not connected to a wall. You know, it's convenient that you can take a pocket knife with you and not have to take a kitchen knife or some other knife with you just so you can cut your fishing line. My man just went to the website. How do I get a few? Has nothing to order them by. Thank you. Okay, so on my website, I do have a link to my eBay store. So most of them are on my eBay store. Also, I have some other stuff on Etsy as well. So I can leave you all the links for that below. OMG, that's so brilliant. I'm like, wow. Lots of emoji faces. I don't know why, but I like that one. That's funny. Brilliant? I don't know, maybe. Um, I guess it has been a process because I did have this concept first in 2016, started with one type of lure, and then in 2019, that's when I went hard on the glide bait idea, making that portable. And from there, like I never even made a glide bait before. So I was making a glide bait while also trying to figure out how to put hooks inside of it. So that process from 2019 to almost like 2022, I think is when I sold my first one. It was more consistency. I think consistency than anything, right? It was the consistency of keep going and believing that, you know, it was possible to make something like this. That wraps up all the comments. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? Hooks are pain, portable is better. Like hooks are so good at doing their job that it becomes a problem, that they just hook on freaking everything that you don't want them to. So hopefully I shed some light on the extremely practical and functionality of a portable fishing lure. So I can meet you down in the comments below if you would want to tell me about your hooks are a pain experience. I'm assuming if you've fished for any length of time, you've had some inconvenience with fishing lures. So I would love to hear about that in the comments below. And yeah, thanks for sticking around, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye. That's pretty cool. I got 2 minutes and 33 seconds on here. That's pretty neat. Oh, whoa. Did you guys see that? Oh man, okay, he came and swirled on it. I did ask ChatGPT in April of 2023, so it was kind of newer then, what a portable fishing lure was, and I thought this was pretty interesting. The term portable fishing lure is not a standard term used in the fishing industry. The term portable generally refers to something that is easily carried or transported in the context of fishing. It could possibly refer to a fishing lure that is compact, lightweight, and easy to transport for on-the-go fishing, such as when hiking to remote fishing spots, traveling, or fishing from a kayak or canoe. Yeah, so that's pretty good. Oh my goodness. The action on this thing, dude, I can't get over. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, there we go. Hooked up. I was having some fun with it too. So that would be the first fish I connected with the big Namek
That is the 6.9. I was having some fun with the action. Had one just swirl on it. Go out a little bit farther. A lot of times they will come back. Yep, came back for it. Came back for it. Yes, sir. Right through the bottom lip. Perfect.
This thing is literally flopping around